Fragrances that leave an intoxicating scent trail seems to be a hot topic here lately on YouTube, and for good reason. Ladies like a fragrance that smells really good in the air. That's how you can catch a lot of people's attention. When you walk by and they catch a whiff, the right scent can definitely intrigue. Today, I want to talk to you about 10 of my favorites. Stay tuned. So with the first one, you know, I could have went with a few flankers of this fragrance, even though this fragrance is a flanker in itself, but it's becoming a timeless classic at this point, and it's hard to beat the original, La Nuit de l'Homme from YSL. I debated on going with the Eau de Parfum here because it's become more of a favorite for me in recent months, but at the end of the day, this is the king of sexy. It just is. Ladies love this sweet, spicy, powdery, sexy cardamom. It's just a great fragrance. One of the most popular fragrances from a designer standpoint ever made. They've sold tons of bottles. This is the ideal and ultimate date night fragrance. When in doubt, you just grab La Nuit de l'Homme and give yourself a couple of sprays. Yes, the juice is lighter colored than it used to be. It's been through reformulations, but it still performs very well on my skin. About 7-ish hours. With a very heavy sillage for the first 2 hours, and I mean, for a date night scenario, that's plenty of performance in my opinion. This smells extremely sexy and seductive in the trail. Had to start the video off with this one because it's hard to argue with the sexy scent trail that this thing leaves when you walk by. Ladies love the way La Nuit de l'Homme smells on a man. Check it out if you haven't yet. La Nuit de l'Homme, Yves Saint Laurent. Next is a personal favorite of mine, one that I haven't spoken about in a long time on the channel, and I'm starting to get the itch to want to bring it out. It's actually my favorite ginger fragrance. It has a beautiful kind of smoky leather trail once you get into the heart and into the dry down, even though they're not in the note breakdown. It's from Serge Lutens. It's 5 o'clock au Gingembre. That's right, I haven't spoken about this one in quite a long time. This, oh man, one of the most beautiful ginger fragrances I've ever smelled. I love a good ginger fragrance. This has a beautiful tea note in it. It's sexy through and through, from the opening all the way through the deep dry down. This is a beautiful fragrance. This is not some crazy powerhouse. It does have solid longevity, but for as good as it smells directly in the air, directly off skin, out the atomizer, it's the trail coming off your skin that really makes this one shine. Not a lot of people talk about this one, even though it's quite a popular niche fragrance, one of the most popular from Serge Lutens. It's a must-have in my opinion, a must-try at the very least if you want to dive into the house of Serge Lutens, as is Chergui. That's its own thing, that's a tobacco fragrance, but as far as something that's just really sexy out in the air, that's going to grab someone's attention when you walk by, look no further. From Serge Lutens, it's 5 o'clock au Gingembre. This is one of the best designer fragrances ever created in my personal opinion. It's as close to a perfect designer scent as it gets. Not too many people will argue with me on that one because it's Dior Fahrenheit Le Parfum. This is gorgeous. This is heavy without being too heavy. This is sweet without being too sweet. It's boozy without being too boozy. It's a little of everything without being too much of anything. That's when you're hitting the sweet spot. And Fahrenheit Le Parfum hits the sweet spot. This stuff is just right. Obviously too heavy for extremely hot weather, but evenings out, cooler days. I really would suggest this more for evenings out than cooler days, to be completely honest with you, because this is a sexy fragrance. There's no denying it. There's a loyal army of fans of the original Dior Fahrenheit, but in my opinion, it's just me talking here. Le Parfum is the best. I haven't tried all of them. Based on the, I think, four from the line that I've tried, this is undoubtedly the best one. I haven't tried Aqua Fahrenheit. I would like to try that one, but I'm sure it's going to be pretty hard for it to compete with the Parfum concentration because it's so rich, it's so deep, it's full of character, it's full of sex appeal. The licorice note in this with that violet leaf and the vanilla, oh my God, this is just such a beautiful fragrance. It's intoxicating to me, let alone to my lady. This stuff is great. If you have not tried this, this is another one that's not even a must try. This is a must own, in my opinion. If you ever liked anything from the Fahrenheit line, this is the top of the food chain for the Fahrenheit line, in my opinion. Dior Fahrenheit Le Parfum. Now, the original DNA for this fits what I'm wearing quite well, actually. Sports jacket, Oxford, tie, no tie, don't matter. Very boss kind of scent, masculine, smells like a man of power. Well, this is a flanker to that original, and it's kind of its sexy night out version. Zaharoff Signature Noir. Here you still have some lavender. The base DNA is still detectable with the myrrh and the oud, but the frankincense is dialed up quite a bit. You have some citruses up top with a little underlying sweetness. The woods are definitely there, but for me, what really stands out and really changes this one is the enhanced olibanum, the frankincense note. If I remember correctly off the top of my head, I believe it's from Ethiopia, is the oils that Zaharoff used for frankincense, and this stuff is incredible. At the recording of this video, this was actually my scent of the day, but when you're seeing this, this was my scent of the day, the previous day. Oh man, it's so good in the air. It really is. There's a lot of people go back and forth on which is their new favorite between this and Royale. And the crazy part about it is when you smell this one, you're like, oh, I think I like Noir better. And you smell Royale and you're kind of like Royale better. It's a good problem to have when you have both of them, but in my opinion, when it comes to an intoxicating scent trail, Noir is going to be the way to go. Royale is your more casual daytime wear. This is definitely geared towards your evenings. This is your sexy night out fragrance. It's got just the right amount of sillage to really capture someone's attention and pull them in for a little bit closer conversation, if you know what I mean. Zaharoff Signature Noir. You know, it's one of the most talked about fragrances ever at this point, and I know I smell it often and it catches my attention every time, and I know it does the same for my lady. I know it's done the same for female co-workers because I've been around a lot of people, bought managers and such, that like to wear this. It's an attention grabber. There's no denying the way this thing smells in the air. It's one of the best scent trails in fragrances. Creed Aventus. No denying its impact. One of the most cloned, copied, and inspired by and ripped off fragrances on the market. This stuff's great. There's a lot of stuff that smells exactly like it. There's a lot of stuff that smells kind of like it. And there's a lot of stuff that smells sort of like it. But this is still the best. Still floating in the air. That beautiful, smoky pineapple. Black currant. Little muskiness and rose in the background on the dry down. You know Creed Aventus when you smell Creed Aventus. And if you've smelled Creed Aventus enough, you know Creed Aventus and a clone of Creed Aventus when you smell it. But either one will definitely pull you in, because this is one of the most recognizable, most beloved scent trails. When somebody walks by wearing this, man, woman, or child, you take notice, because it smells that good. Creed Aventus. It's called the King for a reason. This next one's actually quite new to my collection, but there's no denying the power of this, the sex appeal from the cardamom mixed with the spearmint oil that's in this one. It is beautiful. It wowed me from the first smell. I'm in love with this fragrance. I've worn it again recently around the house, and I only did one spray and got a completely different reaction from my wife because it wasn't overpowering like the last time I wore it. She really got to enjoy the beauty and told me just how sexy this stuff smelled on me. It's from Amouage Enclave from the new Renaissance collection. This stuff is incredible. It is incredible. This is another must try. Very expensive. I'm not going to say it's a must buy, because you do need to sample it first, because not everybody's going to like the mintiness, but oh man, wow. It's a wow fragrance. And it's powerful off of my skin. Beast mode. I wore four sprays the first time I wore it, and it was entirely too much. It overpowered and overwhelmed my wife in the car, running errands, going to Lowe's, going grocery shopping that day. It was just too much. She couldn't even enjoy it. I was enjoying it. She couldn't enjoy it. The next go around, I tried just one spray. It worked perfectly. She absolutely loved it. She told me next time we go to dinner, one spray, wear this. Take a break from La Nuit de l'Homme is what I was told. So as much as everybody loves La Nuit de l'Homme, when you do it a lot, it kind of gets old. Trust me, I was told. So this is definitely what I'm going to be wearing over the next several dinners that we go out for, whether it's a week from now, a month from now, whenever have you. The next 2 or 3 times, I'm going to really put this to the date night test and see just how good of a date night fragrance it is, because it's definitely captured my wife's attention and it's got me for sure. Amouage Enclave. Love it or hate it, there's no denying how much somebody's going to want to smell you if they like this scent. Because it's the other one that's most recognizable aside from Creed Aventus. It's Dior Sauvage. Only this is the Eau de Parfum. This is a little bit spicier, a little bit more matured than the Eau de Toilette. Arguably the best one to buy in the line. Parfum doesn't project real heavy, even though that has the best scent to me. This is kind of the happy medium, if you will. This is one of the most recognizable scent trails in the world as well, just like Creed Aventus, because this actually sells more bottles than Creed Aventus because it doesn't cost as much as Creed Aventus. But there's no denying the reason it sells so many bottles, the #1 selling men's fragrance currently over the last several years, really, is because ladies love the way this smells in the air. Fellas, don't think just because everybody wears Sauvage, not everybody, but a lot of people wear Sauvage, doesn't mean it's not worth you trying at least a sample of Sauvage. The stuff just works, guys. Whether it's the EDT, the EDP, or the Parfum. The Parfum's the most subdued, highest quality scent. Most expensive as well. I feel like the EDP is the happy medium. I've never worn this without getting multiple compliments, and for good reason, because out in the air, it's just intoxicating. Resinous, sweet, boozy, vanilla, Coke float, if you will. Intoxicating is an understatement for this next fragrance from Roja Parfums. It's Creation E Parfum Cologne, also known as Enigma Parfum Cologne. This stuff is great. I mainly like to wear this one in the winter. This will be making appearances in a winter niche list, for example. This stuff is, it's almost a 10 out of 10. You know, I've never given anything a 10 out of 10, and I probably never will, but there's a few that have gotten really close. Amouage Enclave, for example. This one got close too. This is a stunner. This, it's, you know, the term compliment magnet gets thrown around a lot. I throw it around a lot. This is a real compliment magnet. This pulls people in. This has incredible sillage, amazing, absurd longevity, a uniqueness, and it's nuanced. It changes. It starts out fizzy and effervescent and just boozy and gets sweeter and dries down and gets a little bit more woody, and the tobacco starts to come out a little bit more. It's just, it's so nuanced. It changes rapidly throughout its lifespan. This is intoxicating, like I said before, is an understatement for Creation E. I urge you, get a sample, get a decant. If you're ready to get a bottle, check out Vimba Fragrances, link below. Get a real good price on them. Creation E Parfum Cologne from Roja Parfums. Now, some may not like this one directly off skin, and I can assure you, I do enjoy the way it smells directly off skin, but I've even been behind a friend of mine who I had gave a sample of this to and didn't even realize he had it on, and I said, wow, what are you wearing today? If you're watching, you know who you are and you know what I'm talking about. Wow, what are you wearing? Man, you smell great today. Boss the scent, sorry, Private Accord. The trail on Private Accord is very hard to beat. It's extremely unique. It's coffee and leather mixed with that beautiful Maninka fruit that's known, that the Boss the Scent DNA is known for. It's a beautiful fragrance. It really is. It's another one that's a compliment machine. It's a factory. It just churns them out. The trail on this one, it's like nothing else. It really is. It has a beautiful uniqueness to it. even though I have smelled it many times, I mean, I own a very large bottle of it with a pretty good sized dent for being a 200 ml bottle, I still couldn't believe what I was smelling with that example that I just gave you. It is so good. It's been out for about 2 years now. It's still a must-have in the cooler months, in my opinion. If you're a coffee fragrance lover, it's absolutely a must-have, because this is one of my favorite coffee fragrances. I can't just say it's my outright favorite, but it's definitely one of. And the trail on this one is the best part about it. Bar none. Boss the Scent. Private Accord. Last but not least, you can't have a video like this without this particular fragrance. It's known for its scent trail. It's boozy and sweet. It's got a cool gimmicky cap that was made famous by another reviewer. CH Men Prive. Spray it and smell it. Man, this is such a great fragrance to wear on a date, especially for a single man. I've said that from the beginning of this channel, every time I've ever talked about this. This is a must-have for a single man for sure. This is an on-the-prowl type of scent. This is when you're out looking for women, because this fragrance will do you some favors. You're dressed to impress, your hygiene's tight, your hair, whatever situation you got going, bald, you're nice and clean shaved, whatever. Everything's looking right. You need the right fragrance to help you out. CH Men Prive is going to do that. I've touched on this one many a times for very good reason. Every time a video like this comes up, whether it's date night, whatever, for whatever season, I'll always recommend this one, because in my experience in the past, it works. My wife loves it. It's not her favorite. She prefers a few others for date nights over this one. That's why I don't wear it that much anymore. But I can assure you, ladies love CH Men Prive. Well guys, that was the 10 that I chose that, in my opinion and my personal experience, just have a wonderfully intoxicating scent trail. They garner attention. They just do. Very, very positive attention, to say the very least. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Do appreciate all the feedback. I love hearing from you guys. How many of these do you have already, or have you tried? Do they work well for you? Were they just not for you? That stuff happens. Not everything's for everyone. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on any of these, you give them a spray now, pretty confident you'll thank me later. Have a good one, guys.